Adeola Soetan joins us now. He's the national coordinator of Democracy Vanguard. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Yeah, thank you and good morning.
Well, there you had the comments of INEC in terms of their preparations for 2015. Don't expect a perfect one, they say, but they do know, they assure us that you will have improvements for the general election. So how optimistic are you about that?
Well, I think we have to give them the benefit of doubt. Because when you look at it now, apart from Boko Haram war, another war that is contending Nigeria now is the electoral war. Unlike those years where people count, electorate count, has the deciders of who will become what in political offices. What we have now, most politicians see electorate or voters as purchasable and perishable commodities.
Could that be because of the way the electorates have, or some of them, presented themselves?
That is what we are trying to do at Democracy Vanguard now, to restore dignity, power, supremacy to the electorate. Don't forget, it's this country that people have gone to elect, even poorest people. I'll give you an instance. I'm from Boko State. During our time, Simbiat Abiola, wife of late MQ Abiola, contested as a senator on the MPN platform. And I was a lawyer, quote unquote, a poor lawyer that contested on the UPN. Why Simbi was spending money, a lot of things. It will interest you that that lawyer won. Overwhelmingly, the same Nigerians decided, notwithstanding that people are going to Abiola's court every Friday to eat abala, what have you. But when it comes to issue of deciding, so what we are trying to do is to promote democracy and democratic culture and values. So it's not only INEC. People are talking about Boko Haram war. The real war is electoral war. Politicians now look at, they don't look at who want to contest. I mean, have more voters. But how many talks, how many editors are your payroll, how many national union of road transport workers you can garner, how many assassins. And that's the culture we want to change.
How will Democracy Vanguard achieve all of this in the face of the daunting economic challenges that people face?
Don't forget, most of us there are from the left background, socialist background. On a good day, we don't have that total confidence in the bourgeois democracy. But so far we cannot go to war now. And so far social revolution, the working class in Nigeria, the leadership of working class, has run away from their fundamental role of mobilizing people for a social revolution. What we are trying to do now is to make critical and qualitative intervention in the bourgeois democracy to return supremacy to the electorate. Yeah, the doubting economic things, okay, people are so poor, so we cannot reason. I disagree. I voted twice in my life for two presidential candidates, Chief Awolowo and Chief Gadifa. Even when I got to the polling unit, so SCP, you can win. It means that we need to teach people, enlighten people the power of their tongue. I said, look, you don't vote for those who you think can win, but you vote for those who you think can perform, can do something for you. Hey, we know Ghana is good. Your party is very good. When I was the state chairman of the National Conscious Party, before I left the party. So you can see that the bandwagon effect of voting for those who they think will win on the basis of maybe billboard, posters, media noise, not on basis of program. And that's what we're trying to do now.
Who they think will win or who they want to win?
No, it's not who they think, it's not who they want to win. That's the problem. And that's what we are saying now. In those days, I give you another instance. I trek about 50 kilometers from Igore to Ake to listen to Awolowo. Nobody gave me money, nobody gave me t-shirt, nobody gave me anything. But by the time I was leaving the campaign ground, I was more educated. Baba was telling us how many schools that we go build, how many graduates are expecting. So by the time you are leaving, the statistics are clear. So you hold them to something. Today, what do you have? Most politicians will not speak anything at the campaign ground. So we are intervening both with the electorate, which is the focus, the main focus, but other stakeholders too, the political parties, high-net, security agencies, and of course, all stakeholders, so that we can know that instead of people are talking about Boko Haram, well, it's bad, but the electoral war is worse because Boko Haram and others are part and parcel of the anti-clabbers.
What yardstick do these electorates, did you find out from them in terms of what were the parameters they used to arrive at who they think will win?
Good. There's also the basis of, the bourgeois politicians will not allow free and fair election, except few of them that believe in sanctity of election. They always feel that, well, maybe one man in the whole community, they don't need to talk to others. They just pick one chief or allergy, and that one will collect money, call one or two other people and say, look, distribute bags of rice, bags of gari, and because they get this, so they think it's going to win. You that is campaigning on qualitative program, and you don't give gari and rice, they will think, oh man, you cannot win. But inwardly, I'll give you an instance too. When the presidential election and the governorship election were held, I traveled from here to the north, and you could listen to people who admitted that they voted wrongly even for president and for governors within 6 months for their governors. So it's a question of us letting them appreciate their power, which is the tongue. It's not the gun. Because at the end of the day, you still have to come back to the ballot box. So on the basis of the economic question, no doubt, I also feel that it's a conscious program of the state, the bourgeois politicians, to popularize people so that they value, their essence. And people say, oh, let me just eat first. But that is going to change, no matter the minimal effort we are going to make. And that is why we are launching on Monday, that, look, we are launching one man, one woman, one vote campaign.
Have we come to realize that we have the power to change things through the ballot?
Yes. I'm a voter. I don't go to ballot box. So even let me also tell you, I did not vote for the governorship candidate of our party in Ogun State. I did not. Because
You have NCP, right?
Yes, I did it. And I told him after the election that, look, I just don't feel that you can represent me well. That is a chairman of a party to his governorship candidate.
Well, the question will be, how did he emerge?
No, it doesn't matter. Okay. He will emerge on the basis of popular whatever in the party. But if you think that it's not what your term, why should you? So the same thing applies. People now look at it. My sister went for our party because of Gani. The husband went for other person. When they won and lost, my sister became more victorious because within 6 months, the husband was complaining everywhere. We know, and the only thing is that Gani cannot win. I think you're getting the logic. So it's not a question of the poor alone, even the elite. So now, what we are trying to do is, look, appreciate your power first, then how to use it effectively, and how to guide that, your power.
Yeah, but it's very important. I mean, in terms of the emergence, yes, people will vote at the end of the day, but look at an example you just gave. You said you refrained from voting. Yeah. If you have a situation where, the candidates that emerge at the end of the day, a lot of people don't have confidence in them and they must vote. It's like choosing between the devil and the deep blue sea. What will happen at the end of the day?
What we are saying now...
Shouldn't we also be looking at the process of emergence?
That is the intervention we are trying to make now. Unlike the conventional election monitors, observers, who just look at the election, we are trying to do what we call a pre-antenatal till pregnancy delivery. We go straight into day one, the people, the INEC, the parties, and other stakeholders. Not that a day of election, we may still monitor anyway, not that we monitor alone and start writing reports. That the election is this, is that. No, we are part and parcel now from day one to make sure that parties and their candidates come out with program manifestos, that they can be tied down, that can be held down, not just bringing artists, musicians to speak, to sing for 3 hours of your 3.5 hours campaign and everybody goes home. No. Our people are in states that was okay, the parties, let's meet. Go to schools. We organize candidates to meet secondary school pupils, communities, university students.
In your little research, who do you think is more in terms of population? Card-carrying members of political parties or the bulk of the electorates?
Yeah, well, the electorate, of course.
So why is it that all of the time we keep talking about a few hijacking the process, a few bolting away with the ballot box, a few rewriting results?
Is because the voters, willingly or unwillingly, abandon their supremacy and sovereignty. Anywhere you have people standing there by their ballot, during and after election, things like that cannot happen. How many talks do we have in Nigeria? How many talks? On the day of election, now that there's no movement. In a polling unit, how many talks will come there and destroy 500 people? I was in Ibadan, the last election. I moved around. You could see that people were eager for change. And that is why we are appealing that look at the programs. And everything is contained here in the handbook we are launching on. We are launching on Monday. We want to distribute as many as possible. And we are appealing even to the electorate to support us, to support even the parties. Because this thing is supposed to be done by parties. This is the voters' handbook. Most voters, when we are compiling this, we went out to interview people. They don't even know. They don't even know. They only thought that on the day of election, some thought that when the day of election they go there. They don't know the processes. They don't even know the rules. They don't even know the offenses. They don't even know where to go when this happens.